don't take pictures, start taking photographs. Yeah.
Very deep. Very deep.
Very deep again. I'm famous for that, by the way.
Today I'm in Vienna, in a place photographers love, the Leica Gallery, talking to a world traveler, a guitar virtuoso, a moustache aficionado, and internationally acclaimed Leica photographer and ambassador Patrick Domingo. And today we're talking cameras. Gonna start, Pat Domingo. Pleasure. Okay. Thank you for taking the time out of your insanely busy schedule. I know you haven't been in Vienna for a couple of months. You've been traveling around the world, so it's an incredible honor for me to do this today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure for myself, though.
Thank you for that. Thank you also for hosting us in the Leica Gallery in Vienna.
Of course, where else?
Where else? We'll get back to that, but Pat is one of the few Leica ambassadors in Austria, and I think has the most used and worn and torn camera equipment that is out there, but that is what it makes it so special.
Yeah.
Before we start with gear talk, which is not so important for you, I know that, but what was your first recollection of photography? What was your first parents?
Yeah, I mean, my father, of course, he was a photographer, and it was pretty early because like I have like something like cameras was always in my family, so it was always a part like documenting family, like happenings and everything else around that. So it was very early. I would say like 10, okay. 8, 9, 10-ish. Cool. I shot my first roll of film when I was 12. And I had actually the plan to be a history teacher. I wanted to be a history teacher.
Okay.
But suddenly with 16, I came with the idea to be a photographer because somebody told me I can do it quite good and properly. So yeah.
So from early stages on, the trajectory was clear.
It wasn't clear for me, but it wasn't love at first sight, to be honest, but I learned to love it and accept the fact that I maybe can do something out of it. And I identified myself more and more after the years. And it's still a relationship. I'm learning. It's a learning process, you know that as an artist. You're never finished.
Yeah, which I think is cool to have it as a job and as a
exactly
hobby, or it started as a hobby.
I always say like passion first, then profession.
Exactly. Oh, that's nice. I love that. But you had a particular trajectory already. So, what do you remember the first camera you had? The first roll of film?
It was a Minolta, my own camera, or the camera the first
whatever.
But the first camera I remember was the Minolta 7000.
Okay.
It was one of the, I think it's the first camera ever with autofocus built in.
Okay, wow, I have to look that up. Nice.
I learned photography with the Minolta X something, which is like a manual camera. That's true. Yeah. But it was my first own camera was a Minolta 7000. Yeah, with a 50mm. I learned my photography with a 50.
And in analog.
And analog, yeah. And it was Fuji Superior 400 film, I think, because it was cheaper than Kodak. You know, I was young.
I get that. Did you do any education within photography?
Yeah, I went to the Grafische, and I mean, I did my thing with photography there. But if somebody asks me like nowadays, okay, should I study photography or not? It's always about how do you identify with yourself. Because it's not an educational thing; it's a passionate thing. So 100%. Once you're in, you're in. Once you're dying for that, you're dying for that. You gotta be good.
Yeah,
that's my idea of this.
I love that. It's all or nothing basically when it comes to photography.
Totally.
It somehow grabs a hold of you.
Yeah.
And doesn't let go. Somehow.
Of course. It's a love and hate relationship. I mean, it's like a marriage with children.
Yeah.
They cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
They cost a lot of time. You hate them, you love them.
You
They make
sometimes think them up.
exactly. They make you problems
Yeah.
anytime you need them.
Nice, nice. I like
And
that.
it's love and hate relationship, of course. I wouldn't do this job without love and hating it. That's
I like that.
Yeah, that's the spice of it.
The spice of it. Before we come to
Yeah.
Leica that you so passionately love, what was your? Did you have an art direction or a direction you wanted to go? Was it street always? Was it
Yeah.
portraits? Was it?
I would say my general direction is like, I wouldn't say storytelling, but my work belongs always to the street. I love to work in natural light. I work. I love to work in different circumstances. Uh, Nothing predictable. Something which you have no control at all anymore, but you still have to manage to get the photograph. This is like what I like about my job, especially as a portrait and fashion photographer nowadays. I try to get still my approach as a photojournalist in there. I talk with people before I shoot them. I know every person I ever shot because I talked with them, which is very, very important for myself because it's a thing of respect. You just you don't just point the camera to a person which you want to tell
Yeah,
a story
exactly, yeah.
without knowing them or knowing what's going on. So basically, I try to keep my tradition, but in a fashionable way, I would say,
Very nice.
in an honest way, though.
Yeah, I love that approach that you actually talk to the people, that you get interested in them, and I think it makes you some sort of a better photographer, or
Yeah.
it presents itself, and I think it's also some sort of respect that you pay, because taking a picture of someone is, I think, a very intimate
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly.
Even if nobody wants pictures at first, everybody loves them when you hand it out to them. So
Yeah.
it's a very how can I say? Yeah, a very.
It's
very
an intimate thing.
Yeah.
It's an intimate thing, and of course, like, you don't actually just crash into a comfort zone of a person.
Yeah.
And pointing a camera to somebody else is like pointing a gun to somebody.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, wow, what do you want to
Yeah.
have from me? Why do that?
Yeah.
And I try to explain myself. I talk with them barely, actually, like super normal stuff.
Yeah.
And until we reach the point where they forget about the camera and they care about me. Because they care about me, because I cared about them.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a love relationship I have with every
100%.
person I photograph. Actually,
That's beautiful. You started out as a photojournalist. With what cameras did you shoot back then?
it was basically the standard, like, of the industry, Canon, Nikon. I was, I would say, 12 years, 10 years with Canon. In between, we switched over to Nikon. I started with the typical 5D series, the first one, the original one, the OG of all cool cameras out there. Newer digital age cameras. First full frame camera from Canon, I believe. Affordable full frame camera.
Yeah.
Started with the 5D, then I switched over, of course, because I was a photojournalist. We needed quicker cameras with the 1D series, the 1D Mark IIN, Mark III, Mark IV, 1DX, 1DX Mark II, and 1DX Mark III. Okay. The 1DX Mark II was the last one.
The last one. Yeah.
I got. And a whole range of lenses, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
It was like the nerd's dream. Name it, I had it.
You had it. Okay.
40 millimeter, 1635, 2470, 7200, until 500, 400 millimeter, 2.8, 600, 4.0, because I did a lot of sports too.
Yeah.
And like,
Did you get sick of it?
yes.
Yeah.
I was when I remember, actually, I have everything in one suitcase now, like a hand luggage.
Yeah.
My cameras got smaller the older I get.
Good.
Because I was in the beginning of my 20s, I had more power, of course. Like, it was cool to bring all the stuff with you.
Yeah.
3 Pelly cases, like all the lenses in it, like 3 Mark 1DX and 5Ds or whatever.
Flexing it out.
Just flexing it out, and like have a shitload of cameras. Did I got better as a photographer? Honest answer, no. Did it make it comfortable? Yes. And that's the problem. I was too comfortable.
Yeah.
And instead of like getting to the picture, I was like zooming in or switching lenses to a bigger one.
Yeah.
I didn't manage to get access anymore and put the effort. I recognized that by myself, especially after a while. Okay, I got a lot of stuff, and I was like, too much stuff, and I was like drained out. Like I was like, I can't. I need to change something. This is where actually I switched over to buy my first Leica Q in 2015. And that changed my perception and like my approach, because it was a camera with one fixed lens, a wide angle lens, and that's it. I wasn't big, it was small, I was like, and I felt attracted to the camera. Of course, Leica is the holy grail. And sorry, my mentor was always telling me, you don't just buy a Leica, you have to earn it. Because once you get into, if we start with all the cameras, like Pentax, with Nikon, Canon, Sony, whatever. But if you decide to do your legacy and to settle something in life with your work, lifetime achievement, that could be the point where you can switch to a Leica because you earned it. Not about like money-wise, but like experience-wise.
It's a milestone piece.
It's a milestone piece because I wasn't actually, I reached a point where clients didn't actually ask me to do how they wanted.
They wanted you.
They wanted myself though. So I have the decision, I have the power to decide for myself what's the best. And that was the decision, like, okay, I need to change something in my life. If I want to be recognized as an artist, I need to change myself. And I need to be more wisely with my work. Just don't take pictures, start taking photographs.
Very deep. Very deep.
Very deep again. I'm famous for that, by the way.
Very deep, but very true. And here's the thing. I think the cameras we use is, I think my trajectory was similar. In the beginning, you like show up with as much, and you think that the equipment makes you better. It doesn't.
No.
If you only go to one place with one camera, with one lens, you learn how to make it work.
Exactly.
And you don't have
You
to
gotta make it happen.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as a bad picture. It's always a perception thing. But if you believe in your work and you did your approach, it makes you much, much more confident and like you're really, really proud of yourself. And you're starting to think as an artist. Because you present a photograph which you shot.
Cool.
And that's the coolest thing on earth. This is what I actually want to tell any young photographer out there. Never be ashamed to be different. There's no such thing. Just try to believe in yourself. And everybody's going to jump on a train anyways.
So now we are in, you're still photojournalism, and then you said your home is the street. And this is one part, as I think you're very well known, is as one of the best street and also street fashion photographers out there. And I'm stating it like out there, not anywhere here in Austria, but just out there. Take us through those first experiences when you went to, I don't know, Paris Fashion Week or Milan Fashion Week. Or it's like, for me, and this is why I'm asking, I see you standing on a freaking, I don't know, what is it, an electrical like closet on the side of the street with your laptop, the camera plugged in, and you're like editing like this pictures to send it out because it has to be out immediately for PR or whatever. And then you go back and someone walking in next and you have to be already there. Sounds for me is like I'm getting, my heart rate rises when I think of that.
First of all, I'm used to stress because I was a photojournalist. I'm used to be in stressful situations. I work best when I'm actually on my limit, time-wise and everything. So if you're gonna tell me, okay, I have to deliver something on Friday 12th, I'm gonna deliver it to you on Friday 11:58 because I work the best when I'm on my limit. It was chaos. What I saw, okay, the first fashion week I ever been was in Milan, 2016, January. It was actually the first season after I quit journalism. And a friend of mine took me there, Jean-Claude, New Kids on the Block. And he saw the potential of myself, maybe just to try it out in fashion, maybe. And I was like, okay, let's go. And I was overwhelmed because it's happening so much stuff at the same time. But I wasn't actually distracted because I was used to it. I was used to be in chaos
Stress. Yeah.
and hot pots, like seriously
Yeah.
in there. And I tried to select actually moments out of it, photojournalistically. And I didn't was I wasn't looking at the brands they're wearing. I was just looking on the situations until I recognized, okay, there's some kind of pieces which are interesting, and to develop an eye for interesting stuff and interesting people. Because now okay, I got used to it, like what I saw,
Yeah.
and everything went pretty quickly. I just did my thing, but everybody was wondering like, why you're so fast. I mean, as a former photojournalist, I have deadlines. Of course, like, okay,
Yeah.
if you deliver photos 3 days after, nobody wants to see them
cares about
anymore.
it, yeah.
So people I shot, they got the pictures an hour later. I was one of the first ones, actually. I still had a Canon back then. No, I had the Canon with me also, or even a Sony, I think.
Yeah.
But I was one of the first ones who connected their phones with their cameras via cable with this iPhone camera
really?
connector
Okay,
cable.
yeah,
The
okay.
USB cable straight
Yeah,
into your iPhone, and I was actually copying my photographs to my cell phone and uploading them on Dropbox or WeTransfer because we didn't have AirDrop yet
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
So it was very old school. I had like what was it, Snapseed, I think, or something.
yeah.
Apps
To
like
edit
that,
this,
very
yeah.
basic apps to make like brightness,
Little bit,
contrast,
yeah.
and upload it on Dropbox and send them the link an hour later, with much more workflow than nowadays.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Are you kidding me? How fast are you?"
Yeah.
And this is how it started. Actually, I started with global influencers because they appreciate my how fast I was,
Yeah.
and precise, and it looked cool and it looked different because I wasn't a fashion photographer. I was a photojournalist, so it was more of a storytelling thing. They were walking down the street, they're having a coffee, they're getting out of a taxi.
It was not the posing part. It was not the you do this, hey, look here,
Exactly.
etc.
It wasn't actually about the
Uninterrupted.
perfection of the photograph itself, like by posing. It was about like, let's grab the fashion, bring it on the street, and let's capture a moment.
That's amazing. So basically, your photojournalistic work prepared you for the quickness and for the circumstances you were in already, because otherwise you would probably have failed because it was too overwhelming and you wouldn't
Too much.
know where to basically really
Exactly.
focus on it.
Exactly.
Sorry, the pun, but which is amazing. So it's not about knowing your settings on camera and when somebody walks down, but you also have to take the pressure from left and right, because when I see behind the scenes shots of you, it's like 70 photographers, 70, are around you with freaking tele lenses, and you're there with your Leica SL and sometimes with the 10p and it's like a giant holding a toothpick, and you just stand out because you're like, oh, there is a pedestrian, he's wrong, but that's you, because it's so unobtrusive, uninterruptive, and I love that about it.
Exactly. I mean, I'm very grateful that I earned so much respect over the industry over the years. But it's a matter of like psychological thing too. It's like the power of control of yourself and control of others, especially in circumstances where everything's distracting. This is what I actually really love to talk about, it, to catch somebody when like 300 people want the same thing like you want.
Yeah.
But to bring like the respect over, like, okay, you, when they started shooting, and they're shooting like with those big ass cameras, loud cameras, you know, I'm standing there having my camera in my hand, I'm not taking no shot at all.
Yeah.
And they were wondering, why the hell isn't he taking a picture? Because I'm gonna wait until they're finished, and then okay, wait, can you come over there? Because I want to have a different shot, and that's the power of like control. It's like, just be patient, try to find a connection with somebody, and make your own thing out of it. This is what I do. This is so lovely to see, because my assistant was like last season, like, you have them pretty much controlled, right? Of course, because like I look at them.
I think it's a symbiosis that you developed. it's that mutual respect. It's not that the others, the other photographers, as you describe it, they take.
Yeah, exactly.
And you give.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
give back. And it's the models or the people that you shoot.
Always.
They give something from you, and you also give some, because it's respect. It's like, come over here. It's a better shot. You're walking down. It's not that nice. Like, go over here.
Exactly.
It's a better.
Because I care.
Exactly, because you care, and it's not this. Oh, I'm doing this volume of photos to get recognition. I'm doing it out of respect, and I respect that a lot. So
Exactly.
It's very cool.
It's the mindset and approach which makes a great photographer. Great photographers weren't actually great technicians. They were characters.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
You name it, Lindbergh, Newton, or whatever. They were all characters, and they didn't know much about like their stuff, but they knew their stuff. You know what I mean?
100%.
100%.
Does the moustache?
Yeah.
Is that a part of your? Because it's so iconic, and I'm gonna mention it if you see the video. I'm gonna mention it before in the intro. Is moustache aficionado?
It's the only kind of beard I'm getting, because I wish I had like here somewhere or whatever.
yeah.
So I try to keep my manish thing.
Yeah. Okay. Keep it there.
Yeah. Just to try to be cool.
That's amazing.
So like more than as an artist.
What I love about the situation that you are in is that you put in so much hard work that nobody sees, because that's it. That people think, oh, he got, or not you, but people got lucky because he did that, and he was then recognized by influencers, and obviously you get a lot of exposure. But what people never see is the grind that you put in before.
Oh, Jesus,
and the work, and that is actually what I always put it into a word is like craft, Handwerk in German. Yeah. Because you have to know, it's not about this. Yeah. This is a part. This is your vehicle of this like getting the shot. Yeah. But everything else, knowing when to be there, getting there, getting the right shot, getting the mutual respect, knowing when is good, when is bad, knowing when you can actually piss off, and word travels fast. Yeah. So it's a very personal thing that you first have to do before you it can be a photographer.
I mean, we did all our sacrifices. We all struggled a lot. As I told you, like, it's a love and hate relationship. But the thing is, like, 90% when you start photography, is like the gear and technical stuff is actually 90% of your time management, like to get like into the game. But it changed after the years. Like, it's actually just only 10% photography anymore, and it's 90% something else. It's logistics. It's like how you manage yourself, how to sell yourself, how to position yourself, how to get in general to get there where you want to be,
and also just deliver the work really fast. Because I think this is one thing that is underestimated. And when people say, "Oh, this is quick," it's like yes, and it's also good. It's you know, sometimes this is a sacrifice. It's quick, but it's not that great. But no, in general, this is what you can combine so quickly. And I wanna use this camera as an example. Yeah. What is this?
This is I would say my love child. I love this camera so much. It's an Leica M10D. It's a digital camera, which is actually, they have no screen. It works like aesthetically like a film camera, so you can't see your picture. You have to actually rely on your guts, which I like because it keeps me grounded. I'm not that spoiled. This is the camera actually. This is a very different car to drive, I would say. Yeah. It has their own ticks, which I like because it makes me a better photographer. It tries to teach me every day to get closer, to get into the game, to rely on my guts, not on a exposure meter. I love this camera. It's very solid. I mean, as you can see, this camera has been everywhere with me. Even the lens.
What type of lens is it?
That's a 35mm Summicron Canada. It's version 3, I guess.
It's so tiny.
It's so tiny. And the thing is, like, I mean, if you're gonna see my work, I would say 80% of my work is shot with this lens. It has an own character. It's not perfect, color-wise and everything, but it gives the character actually I want to be. And as you can see, it's just like super powerful small lens. And
It's amazing for everybody watching. This camera, you have to manually focus.
Yes.
You have to manually do freaking everything.
Everything, yeah.
You don't see if you got the shot or not. You have to actually go to a computer, put your SD card in,
Exactly.
and check it. So not only if anybody else has ever shot a Leica true M, which is without autofocus, without a screen, it's hard work. It is really hard work. And people try to explain to me, it's like you're doing range within range focus,
zone focusing,
etc. And this is already difficult if you're in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
I cannot believe you have somebody walking towards you within what we all just talked, and you still can take
the thing is, like, you get used to it, because like if you always change your gear, and I'm very comfortable person with my stuff. I prefer to have less, but I know them 100%. Because when, as you told me, like if someone gonna walks towards me, or like you're gonna sit here and we talk, and I know approximately the range of my lens, which I have to focus. And then I just look and just do precisely the focus then. But I know my gear. I know my lens. I know the capabilities of my lens and my camera. And this is something which I always try to teach people. The amount of gear is not it's not important. To know your gear. And actually to know your gear like so good that it
becomes second nature. It's
like an extension. It's not a topic anymore, because you have it in your blood already. That's the most beautiful thing ever. Actually, I like that.
That's awesome.
And this is like very uncomplicated. As you see, heavy. It's not. It's not
super tiny. It's
super tiny, and it's
I love the way on it.
I mean, how beautiful it is.
It is. It's freaking gorgeous.
It can have dents or scratches over it. It makes it actually more sympathetic.
Of course.
And
it's what they're built for.
Exactly, and they're built to last. I'm the best example for that. It works.
Cool.
And even like minus 40, plus 40 degrees, I took this camera everywhere, and it still works, because it's not much.
There is not much, exactly. You told me about your Leica Q that we just talked about, and you said it has a certain type of shutter count.
I think now over 2 million shots. It is a very unique camera and belongs back to Leica. I hope so soon. It's a testimonial of like, I took this camera everywhere. I wish I have it here, but my first unit assistant, I let my crew play with my cameras too. It's not like it's going to be in a shelf or in a safe. I think that's the point why the camera works so well, because they're getting used. All the time. Exactly. They have a rhythm. This camera especially, I'm gonna send you some photos. Yes, please. We can show it now.
Very good. Yes.
Every scratch, every dent has its own story. No service, I have to tell you.
That's crazy.
It went never to service. 2 million shots, and I still love this camera. I prefer actually even the older one than the new one for myself. It's like an emotional thing.
It also has character. Every camera has a different character.
It became a part of me.
It became a part of you. But I want to touch back on the street photography thing, and because if and I went through your Instagram, it is the who is who of pop culture right now. It's Azab Rocky. It is Naomi Campbell. It is Alessandra Ambrosio. It is the Kardashians. It's I wanted to mention one person before, but I'm not gonna out of current circumstances.
Exactly.
So it's the who is who, and if you look at it, and I see, it's like, how is that possible, and how there are not more likes on this, because it's only Instagram, and it doesn't. But still, it's so incredible, and the portfolio you built is insane. It's absolutely really insane, because it's and what I love, and now I'm talking, I wanted to interview you, but I want to praise you for that because you give so much passion to it. It's not out of luck, as I said, that you get to meet these people. It's step by step that you get closer to those people, and those are only humans, and they want to be respected, they want to be loved, they want to be cared about, and they also want a nice picture of them, even if they got millions of pictures, but the millions are shit because they are like, I don't know, paparazzi shots, and they try to get the worst out of them because it makes a good headline. But yours are beautiful. I saw that one shot of, I think it was Naomi Campbell, this side profile,
Black and
all
white.
black and white,
yeah.
etc. Like freaking gorgeous. Like, why is it not here?
It's
It's
soon.
good.
But I think it's a matter of, like, as you said, respect. I never wanted to be like this, have the description of a celebrity photographer, but I became somehow one of them, but in a different way, I would say, because like we talk privately to each other, we call each other, and it's not agent over agent. If Alessandra wants to talk with me, she calls me, and the other way too.
Yeah.
And we hang out, we have a coffee, we have a pizza, and then we take some shots. I had a different approach because I'm very thankful, grateful for that point that people recognize me as a human being too,
Yeah.
and a decent, nice guy. I hope so.
Yeah.
With a camera. A good friend of mine did a very good description about myself. Is when you call me, not hiring a photographer, you're calling a friend with a camera to hang out, and that's actually my USP in that case.
Yeah.
So I really love to be respected like that because I respect them also, and I'm a very discreet person. So if anything happens with them or whatever, that's our own story.
Exactly.
Like nobody has to know that, and this is what I respect also, and this is why actually they love to hang out and just chat and then take some pictures.
Honestly, so I think it's a wonderful thing that you see them as people, because I think the getting getting starstruck as a photographer can.
I've been once, to be honest.
That's
I
a
was
good
very
story.
nervous when I took my first shot of Irina Shayk.
Okay.
I was like really shaking. I was like
Okay.
super
Yeah,
nervous
yeah.
like this, and then I took photos, and I was like, after 2 minutes, okay, we have it. And she was like, honey, are you sure? Let's take some time.
Yeah.
Relax, all good. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Don't touch
I
me.
was stuttering actually,
Okay.
and I was like thinking like seriously, don't touch me. It makes it worse.
It makes it.
No,
But
it was
yeah.
very cute, and then I saw their side of like,
The industry.
yeah, the industry, and she was a human being too, and she was like, oh, cool, just do your work and tell me when you're really finished, not like, okay, just
Just rush out of respect. You don't want to take their time.
exactly. And she was like, no, take your time. When I'm finished, I'm finished. And that was nice to hear actually.
Oh, that's cool. I think you answered it already. It's in that way that you have so many people that are really like superstars. Is that the thing, that you just see them as a human being with their needs and the respect and the love that they need, that you can actually connect with them?
Yes. To be honest, I would say 60% of the celebrities I shot, I have no idea what they're doing. Actually,
Yeah.
like athletes are the best.
Yeah.
If somebody's gonna tell me like, oh, here's a tennis player, here's a hockey player, or like a soccer player, cool.
Super. Yeah.
And I have different topics with them because I have no idea about their profession, and they quite like it a lot, to be honest. Like my innocence in that
Yeah.
case,
Yeah.
because we have other topics to talk. Like we talk about music, photography, art, name it. But they don't want to hear like, hey, I was the last play, and I saw like your colleague.
They don't want to talk about work.
They don't want to talk about work, especially like I don't want to talk that much about work. I just let work happen. It's just a part of myself. And if somebody's gonna ask me like super technical stuff and something like that, I hang up, man, because like I can't, because there's nothing much to talk about. That it's just like
You can look it up.
Yeah, exactly. How did you do that? I switched on the camera, pressed the button, and I pray that's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But what people misses a lot is like it's still human factor, which is important between object and photographer.
Yeah.
This is something which people don't get. Everybody can take a picture.
Everybody does.
Everybody does. Everybody's a photographer nowadays. Everybody has like a camera on their phone.
Yeah.
What makes you different? And that's my humanistic approach, of course. Like, okay, that's my character, how I get to my photographs.
It's like I like that humanistic approach. That's beautiful.
Very important.
Um, you travel so much. Do you sometimes miss? Do you sometimes not know when you wake up in the morning in a hotel room where you are?
Do you know the feeling like, okay, you have to get to the toilet by night, and you get up, okay, you need to go to the toilet, but you recognize you're in a different hotel room. The toilet's not on the left side or the right side, and you ran into the door or like into the wall. But I love to travel. Don't get me wrong. I love to meet different people. It's so cool that I bring my stuff, myself, and even my crew all over the world to produce the nicest stuff with nicest people. But it's exhausting. It's really exhausting because, like, just imagine nowadays it's really hard to travel by yourself already. But I travel with my personal belongings and my gear.
Yeah,
So
basically you are your entire being is where you are.
Exactly.
There is
I could
nothing that is at
actually,
home and,
I could
yeah,
actually go
live
for
somewhere
good.
else. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly, because I have basically 99% with me, which I need to survive. My passport and my cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully a credit card or something like that.
And a credit card, of course.
It's I think it's a very also very aspirational life if you see it.
Yeah.
But I think if you're in it, it's sometimes very daunting. It's very stressful. It takes a toll on you.
Sorry?
It takes a toll, so it's
Totally.
yeah.
Totally. I mean, like I said, exhausted.
Yeah,
But in a good way.
in a good way. That's nice. That's a nice way.
It's a nice way of exhaustion because like it's a thing of like you can have a mental breakdown, of course, but if I'm gonna tell you I have a mental breakdown, at least it was totally worth it.
It's not only worth it. I think it has to do with the fulfillment that you do with your job, that you
Exactly,
actually contribute, that you
that's
that you
a good
put
word.
energy and you get something back. You get recognition, you get nice shots, even if you're only proud, which is the most important, that you're proud of of the stuff you do.
And the most important thing is people you have. Also, we didn't work yet together, but the thing is like people recognize pretty fast that I still really love my job.
Yeah.
I love my babies. I love my cameras. I love my work so much. Actually, I care more about my work as the output actually itself, because even if I don't have the nicest picture on earth, nobody can take the conversation we had before.
Oh, it's all going into your whatever you consume visually, mentally, etc. It's all in your bank. It's all there. Nobody can take it away.
It makes me a greater person.
Exactly.
And this is nothing you can pay for.
Wonderfully said. I want to touch on two more things. I usually have a question. It's called, tell me when you know that you're finished with work, but you're so quick that you probably know it's like, I took the shot and I'm done. Because I know that's your also quick turnaround. Not secret, but it's like you got the shot. That's it. There is not much of editing. There is not much of anything. So.
And if I have the feeling I have the shot, I don't push it more and like push more 2 hours or to take a better shot. No, if I have the feeling I have the shot, I have the shot, because I created a peace of mind with myself.
Yeah.
Once I approve it by myself and I have a good feeling, I would never say it's perfect, like it's done, but it's good enough to. It was the maximum we can get, and I don't want to like over
extend it or
or whatever, like even patient wise with the person you're working with. Yeah. Especially also with the post production. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Basically, there's like 15% plus minus.
Yeah.
But as every person you're gonna meet who works with me or worked with me, they're gonna ensure you. No, there's not much. Yeah. My digital operator hates me for that because he has nothing to do. Yeah. It's like done. It's like, thank you.
But this is, I think, for people who over exaggerate on post production or over excess, not exaggerate, because you can do, if you want to do it, if that's what you love, freaking go for it. But you don't have to. It's not a thing that you have to do. It's a choice. Yeah, nobody dictates.
Exactly.
And this is beautiful because you're on the one end where it's like there is not a lot going in because I prepare everything so well that the shot I take and the peace of mind that I have is already good. Exactly, and the other approach is maybe I just take a lot of shots and then I edit the best out of it and edit it so that it's then for me the perfect shot. So there is a range in between, and it should give you some peace of mind.
Definitely.
And don't try to compare the comparing thing. The compare culture is
No,
worse. I think in
that's
our
the
industry.
worst ever. Don't compare yourself to others. Do you have your own workflow? Everybody's unique and should be unique though. And I kind of we're getting better. We're getting better in the industry. Like okay, there was a lot of like talking before, like okay, you don't do this, you don't do that, you have no idea what this that, and okay, that makes it now a better or a worse photographer. There's no such thing.
Yeah.
This is completely bullshit in my opinion. Just leave them how they are and just let them go.
Yeah.
And
Don't worry
truly believe in yourself. I know it's the hardest point. Do I 100%? I don't know sometimes too, but at least I try to be a better person in that case. So that's the only thing actually which makes it count, in my opinion.
Perfect.
And especially for us, because people know us, we need to be a better part of like inspiration in the industry. Let's try to make a change out of it. Let's communicate, because like we at least we do that, but generations before they didn't talk to each other like that.
Or elbowing out
exactly. He's a you're not a colleague. You're like you destroy my work, man. Well, why are we gonna talk each other? No, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
Everybody has their place.
Exactly. It's one thing that it's community over competition.
Yeah.
It's a YouTuber I follow that always like praises this. It's like and the fact that we can openly talk about it. I always say it's to make the cake bigger for everybody, not the piece, not your piece. They don't have to elbow out. I want to talk two more things quickly.
Sure.
One thing is your guitar.
Yes.
And you are a spectacular guitar player.
Thank you so much.
How do you like great photographer, like exceptional photographer, great?
It makes
guitar
sense,
player.
right?
It
Of
does,
course, like
100% makes sense.
such an artist.
No, but really, how is it like?
The thing is, like, I wish if I have another choice besides photography, I would love to be a musician. I love music so much. It actually became now my mental
It's a release.
calm down thing
Fantasy,
to play my guitars, my music, and it keeps me grounded.
Cool.
And I can switch my hat off, and I love to play my guitars.
It's
I have
so
a lot
cool.
of them.
Yeah.
I love to collect them. I love to play them, and it's good to come home.
Okay. That's the only thing you probably don't.
The thing is like it's good to have a reason to come home. Of course, my family and everything else.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to play them again, to feel them again, and to create something which you have in your mind, but not like pressure wise like the client expects. Just do it for yourself then all too. That's nice. I love that.
Video part. You
Yes.
and we're talking one time again because I think the SL introduced a very nice thing of you where you also got a very like a big exposure because you then switched from getting photos delivered quickly to freaking getting videos delivered quickly.
Yes. I mean, it became a game changer with this camera, to be honest. Like the SL2 is something which changed my career a lot. Became from a known photographer to a well-known photographer then, because it had the cleanest slow motion actually I saw years ago. When they brought out the camera, I was very, very grateful to have the prototypes before they released the camera. So I was in the project with the SL2 involved.
Cool.
I was the only photographer worldwide, I believe so. Who tried the video function. Because they got, of course, it's a photo camera. Yeah, I was taking photos, of course, but I switched over to video and was just like sitting on my couch, bored, looked through the menu, and I found out like, okay, 24, 25 frames, 30 frames,
60, 120?
60, 100, 120, 150, 180.
Okay.
And I was like, 180 frames per second. And I took a video. It was fun because it looked like a photograph. It looked like the picture itself from the Leica, but just motion picture.
Yeah. Just moving.
And then I figured out something which was the game changer itself, because I was, of course, filming like this. And I filmed actually vertical because, like, okay, we need that for social assets. Okay, let's film vertical. I put it on my computer. And I believe there's not much cameras where they have the video 90 degrees already turned. You don't have to turn the videos like vertically.
Exactly.
Yeah. See?
I love that this is sometimes, in rare circumstances, technology helps us to progress in our art.
Exactly.
And it did. And it was so cool. And I could follow it from home. It's like, oh man, I know he has it. He's finally doing it. And
it wasn't the right time at the right spot, because like Instagram stories and reels became popular on Instagram. It was like everything went perfect.
Yeah.
And
everything came into sync.
I started to do this videos, like this motion photographs. I called them before. And everybody was like, boom, you see the fabrics, like in the air, like everything, the hair is flowing, whatever. And everything was alive. And I was like, okay, maybe this is the future also for photography in a way. Maybe
switch it up a
little bit, spice it up a little bit. I mean, a photograph is a photograph still.
Will always be
a medium which we should actually also respect. It's like the motion picture medium, and it became very popular. I don't do it now anymore because everybody else is doing it. Of course.
But you were the starter, and it's you work towards that. Exactly. It didn't just happen that you got it and you were in development with them. It's all that work that you put into.
Exactly.
So, and it also pays off, and those are the little moments. It's not luck. It's freaking hard work. I want to stress this always because it looks so easy from far.
Yeah.
Last question. Where's the limit?
Where's the limit?
Where are you gonna go next? What are you gonna do? What do you want to do?
Oh my God, I have no idea. It's like I said, it's a freaking journey.
Yeah.
Like I had an interview before when they were asking me like, what's your favorite photograph? And I was always telling them it's the next one.
It's the next one.
I hope so. I believe so.
Yeah.
But I have no idea where this is going. I'm going more into the art direction, to be honest. I love to create. I love to work, especially with different photographers also, but not for me as a photographer, but an art director, to manage a look and feel for brands and campaigns. Yeah. Because I understand the game, because I've been into that.
You did the hard work.
And photographers trust me too, because I know how it is to be a photographer.
100%.
I think so. This could be a direction for me, art direction in the fashion industry. Art industry. Let's see. I have still no idea what I'm doing. This is my quote of my life.
Cool.
And I maintain to have still no idea what I'm doing, because my experience is one side. Yeah. But it's good to be a little bit childish.
Right? Patrick Domingo, pleasure, man.
Patrick, thank you so much for your time and for the questions. And yeah,
have a good day. Can't wait until to see more of the crazy stuff.
Awesome. Next year.